Bonuses are $100,000 for parking. Aspinall gets 100, and Patty gets 200. Nice. Congratulations to all of them.
Dana, good morning.
Good morning.
Bilal Muhammad's new welterweight champion. Curious your thoughts on the main event, on his performance and Leon Edwards' performance.
Wasn't a barn burner.
Do you think maybe Leon kind of, to me, looked a little bit lethargic? Maybe the time was hurting him a bit more than Bilal. Do you think that was a factor? Or do you think Bilal's pressure was just too much for him to overcome?
I have no clue. You know, you're going to have to ask Leon how he felt and what was going on. And, you know, Bilal, I know Bilal's been training with Habib. So his performance was, you know, what you would expect.
You know, in the past, we've seen these dominant champions get an instant rematch. Do you think that might be the case here, or do you think it's better to just have Leon rest a little bit? And
yeah, let him rest. But we're talking about other things right now.
Okay. Tom Aspinall, 1 minute, got him out of there. I mean, kind of different from the main event, right? Just came in there and blew him off. Do you think that John Jones fight is getting bigger and bigger?
Yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, there's no doubt. Whoever wins the fight between John Jones and Stipe is a great fight for Aspinall.
Have you spoke to either of those two about that? Because I know both of them have said maybe this is their last one. Have you spoke to either of them to get their temperature?
It doesn't even matter. Whatever's going to happen when they fight is going to happen, and we'll go from there. But as fans, we can all say, ooh, that's a fun fight, no matter who wins.
Speaking of John Jones, the 12-6 elbow rule has been overturned, and there's some talk about he wanted his loss to Matt Hamill overturned. Is that something you could even look into, and is that something you would like to see?
I've been trying to do that since it happened.
So, yeah.
I think I wanted it more than he did. So it hasn't worked out too well, though. But, yeah, I've been fighting for that for a long time. You had an incompetent referee, a guy who we can all agree now, maybe I sounded like, you know, an asshole back in the day, but now we can all look back and 100% say that a guy that was completely incompetent at a time when the Nevada State Athletic Commission was at its weakest, you know, the guy who was running it was a zero. Mazzagatti should have never been in there, and the list goes on and on. And that thing should have been and should be overturned, and I've been fighting for it for years.
All right. Two more quick ones outside of tonight. You know, every time you get on a press conference, the fighters manage to get you to up the bonuses. Do you think there's an argument that maybe you should just up them?
I think tonight showed that we should not, no. Oh. Upping them doesn't change anything. It doesn't make anybody fight any harder. It doesn't change anything. I'm not doing this again.
Ever?
Ever. Today was the last day that I'm doing that, yeah. Not saying that in the future the bonuses couldn't get up, but I'm not going to be at a press conference and say 200, 300, fucking never again. Never again. So you can thank everybody on this card for that.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. Nobody fought any harder. There was no sense of urgency. Holy shit, I want the 100,000. 7 straight. Who gives a fuck? It's fucking 7 o'clock in Vegas. So, whatever. Yeah. Never again.
Okay.
7 straight fucking decisions. Yeah. The 100,000 was a real big fucking woohoo. Let's get it, boys. Fuck that shit. Never again.
Okay. And last one for me. The Sphere card was announced. I know you're not scared of competition, but the T-Mobile is running a Canelo fight that night. I mean, it's Mexican Independence Day. Is that something you expected them to do? And who wins that night, right? Is your Sphere show going to blow them out of the water? Do you think it's going to divide the crowd? What are you expecting from them?
Yeah, I didn't know what they were going to do, to be honest with you, but it's Mexican Independence Day. So you had to assume there were probably going to be some Mexicans fighting other than our Mexicans that night. So, like I said yesterday, I said it is what it is. Here we go.
Dana,
see how it plays out.
Right next to him. I know you gave him the bonus, but what did you make of Patty's performance? And on the flip side, what did you make of Bobby or King Green now, like shooting for that takedown, knowing that Patty is such a high-level black belt?
I don't think that, you know, when you're in a fight like that and you get into a scramble and, you know, shit just happens in the moment. And I'm sure that's what happened to Bobby. I'm sure he wasn't thinking, oh, man, I better stay off the ground. And you know, Bob King has done a great job, you know, anywhere a fight goes, And he's looked great lately, and, you know, I'm sure he wasn't concerned or wasn't thinking at the time, and he got caught. I mean, listen, Patty's one of those guys that everybody talks shit about, and everybody wants to fight him, and everybody wants to call him out, and he keeps winning. And he looked damn good tonight. That's why he got the $200,000. I mean, I don't think Bobby Green has been submitted since like 2009. So, yeah, congrats to him. That's the guy that came out tonight and looked like he wanted an extra $100,000.
And is Patty a guy that you're going to try to keep in this region? Because he's fought in Vegas, but when he fights here and he gets that entrance and just the reception from the crowd, it just feels like he's on another level of superstardom.
Yeah, listen, everything here is that level as long as you don't go to fucking 7 straight decisions. I mean, you do anything here, and we fucking open the show and they're singing songs and shit. It's just, England's different, man. England is different. And when you come out and you put on an event and you perform, you feel it here.
Now, what did you make of the Makhachev and Manel Kopp drama? Like, you know, they had that run-in at the PI, they had that run-in at the hotel.
There was so much bad shit that happened in the behind the scenes with that thing. And yeah, not good.
Makhachev said that his contract is up, and he made this interesting remark that said someone at the UFC told him to stop shooting for these takedowns so much, and maybe he'll get this contract that he wants. Is that true, and do you think you'll bring him back?
Yeah, that's what we tell guys. We tell guys how to fight and tell them we've been doing this for a long fucking time. I'm sure one of the matchmakers probably said something to him or whatever, but yeah, the matchmakers aren't big fans of his for many different reasons, and not just there's a lot of people who shoot takedowns in this business. You know, a lot of guys that fight with that type of style, but it's a lot more than just that.
But Makhachev is the guy that you'd want to bring back to the UFC because he said his contract is totally done now.
Yeah, he is. He's under contract. He's not under contract anymore.
Okay. But would you be interested in, you know, keeping him around in the fall?
I think the PFL is going to get a great undefeated guy.
Really?
Good luck to him. Yeah.
What about Manel? Because we saw even before the fight even started, he was trying to run it. Makhachev, the security had to get in there before the first bell even rang.
Yeah, because just so much dumb shit is happening. I mean, we couldn't even have a face-off. But it's it was one of those typical kind of fights. We've all seen this before over the years. Oh, I can't wait to get to you. I can't wait to get to you. Oh, I'm going to fucking kill you. And then 5 minutes and they don't do anything for the first 5 minutes of the fight. I mean, it's just, we kind of figured that's how that fight would go. It's, you know, historically, that's how they go.
And last one on this, when you said the PFL is going to get an undefeated fighter, is that his fighting style? Is that he's asking for too much money? Why?
None of the above. Listen, for whatever reason, listen, the stuff that played out here over the last several months, it started at the PI and other stories of, this breaking out, plus many other things. These guys don't want to re-sign him.
And then last one for me, unrelated to this fight, Ilya Taporia tweeted that something along the lines of like, looks like the UFC is forcing him to take the fight. Obviously, we're assuming it's Max Holloway. Is there any update on that fight and when it could be?
That we're doing what?
Ilya tweeted something along the lines of, it looks like the UFC is finally forcing him to take the fight, and we all assume he's referring to Max Holloway. Is there any update on that fight?
I don't think you ever have to force Max Holloway to fight.
But Volkanovski said.
Yeah, that's funny.
One from me regarding Paddy Pimblett. Obviously, we've touched on him a little bit. There were so many detractors saying he'd never even make the top 15. Why do you think he's so underestimated?
What's that? Why is he so underestimated? Is that what you're asking me? Yeah. I don't know, man. He's just one of those guys that I think that his personality or whatever it is, people aren't afraid of him. I don't know. I can't explain it. I can't. But, he showed tonight. You don't have to be afraid of him, but you definitely better worry about him. And now he's in the top 15. So, and he's never lost in the UFC. So, he's the real deal.
And we've had some.
I know this too. He probably fucked up a lot of parlays tonight.
Obviously, we've had some massive stars in the UK, the likes of Michael Bisping. But what Tom Aspinall did tonight was just amazing. Do you think he's got potential to become the biggest UK MMA star we've ever had?
He's different, man. For a heavyweight, the speed, explosiveness, the way that guy moves, and power, 100% finish rate. Yeah, he's a bad boy.
Perfect. Last one from me. obviously you said that Bilal and Leon didn't produce a barn burner. Is there any chance that Leon gets another shot against Bilal, or just take Bilal in a different direction now?
No. Leon's done great things. We love Leon. He's a great kid. Let him rest, relax. You know, he looked flat tonight. Again, he hasn't been out here yet, right? Yeah. I mean, you guys are going to have to ask him what happened, and then I'll read about it while I'm flying home, and we'll go from there. But right now, we're not thinking immediate rematch.
Dana, just mentioning Tom Aspinall there, I know you mentioned that he has the potential to be the UK's best ever fighter, but Michael Bisping mentioned yesterday during a Q&A panel, he said he can see Tom going on to dominate the heavyweight division for years to come and go down as the greatest MMA fighter of all time. Do you see him capable of achieving that?
So, yes. I mean, this guy, to put that on him right now, he obviously has the ability to dominate the heavyweight division. What he did to Curtis Blades tonight, I mean, let's be honest here. Curtis Blades is not a guy you walk right through. He walked through him tonight like it was nothing. So there's no doubt about that the guy's got the talent. But when you start talking, he won this fight tonight, he could be the greatest of all time. Again, you know how I feel about John Jones. It's just, you got some big shoes to fill, and you got a lot of people to wreck, you know, before you even start talking about even being within John Jones' universe, in my opinion.
As someone who's been around the fight game as long as you, just curiously, have you ever seen a heavyweight move like Tom Aspinall?
No, he is special. He is absolutely, positively special, and yeah, we obviously expect big things from him.
And just touching on Paddy Pimblett as well, his star power, we've known that since the first fight at the Apex a couple of years ago. It's just continued to rise, and back-to-back wins over Tony Ferguson and Bobby Green, huge names on the record. Could you see him main eventing a fight night over here potentially next year?
Paddy, yeah, you can do anything with Paddy. I mean, the guy's a superstar. There's no doubt about it. And everybody who keeps doubting him, he keeps proving everybody wrong. And tonight, you know, again, we're talking about how he's never lost a fight. But again, tonight was a big test for him, and he breaks into the top 15 and did it impressively against a highly motivated, very talented guy.
Final one for me, just away from this card, Alex Pereira has been looming over the heavyweight division. He wants to move to the heavyweight division, and
he hasn't been looming over the heavyweight division. People have been saying he should go to the heavyweight division.
He did call out the heavyweight champs he wanted to fight after UFC 300, I believe, and he stepped up for you guys so much this year. Is that something that you'd love to see at some point? Maybe not necessarily the next fight for him.
Weren't we just talking about Tom Aspinall?
We were talking about Tom Aspinall, yeah.
Greatest ever?
So maybe Pereira versus Aspinall at some point.
Powerful, agility, speed. So you think he should move up, and you think he should fight Tom Aspinall?
I mean, the fans want to see it, Dana. Yeah. Do you want to see it?
Well, I'm asking you. You think it's a good idea? We were just talking about how he's...
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think if Pereira wants to do it, Tom wants it.
So I should move Pereira up, a guy who's fucking superstar in that weight class and looks great. And
I think the fans are greedy and they like the idea of dream fights. I'm sure it's a dream fight that you've seen on the internet yourself. I mean,
you got any more questions for me?
I'm saying Jones moving up to heavyweight was the dream for a long time. We've got that. So I feel like that similar storyline is going to happen with Alex Pereira.
Well, you got Jones fighting Stipe. Whoever wins that, they fight Tom Aspinall. Where does he fit into this right now?
There is a lot going on. There is a lot going on for you. I agree with that.
Anybody else?
Yeah, Dana down here to your left.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I'll go.
Go ahead. I got you next.
You talked about Aspinall obviously potentially fighting John. That's John and Stipe is November. John keeps saying November 9th. Is there any possibility that Aspinall could be the backup for that fight?
100%. We'd be insane not to make him the backup for that fight.
And do you think that performance, well, John is at the stage of his career where he only wants to take fights that really get his competitive juices flowing. Do you think that type of performance there from Tom Aspinall would potentially get him to shelf potential?
Listen, John Jones is no dummy. John Jones, has a very high fight IQ. He knows what Aspinall's got and what he's about. I think that we're going to have to see what happens with this fight with Stipe, see where John's head is, or if Stipe wins, see where his head is, and let's see what they want to do. Is it their last fight? Are they going to retire? I think that if Stipe wins, he probably will. But I think if John Jones wins, I think that I just think that competitive spirit that he has and his desire to prove to the world that he's the best, especially when people are saying he could be, possibly the best ever. I think that's the kind of shit that fires John Jones up.
Would you be a bit pissed if either him or Stipe did call it a day afterwards?
What?
Would you be a bit pissed or a bit sad that they call it a day after that fight?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand one word.
It's after retire.
Retire if he retires?
Yeah.
If both retire? Oh, fucking that'll suck. That'll suck. I don't know what we'll do if that happens. I guess then, my guy, there we go. There we go. He slides right in and the world is happy.
Thank you.
You've said yourself several occasions UK fans do it differently. Is there any chance that we get to see you here more than once a year? Because I know that I'd enjoy it and everyone else would.
Yeah, listen, guys, I say this all the time. When we first got into this, when I say we, Lorenzo and I, the United States, the UK, and Mexico were very important to us. And now we have a heavyweight champion from the UK. You know what I mean? It's a big deal. So it was important to me to come back to Manchester to do this fight. I wanted this. We were talking about all these other places to put this fight on, and I was like, oh, hell no. This fight needs to be done in England. And new arena was here, and timing was perfect, and here we are. So my long-winded answer is yes.
Any chance we can have it at a normal time, please?
Probably not. Unfortunately.
Dana,
Yeah.
right here. When you have success like this in the UK, in France, does that encourage you to look at more European cities or countries, Germany, Spain, stuff like that?
Well, we always do. I mean, we've done fights in Germany. We haven't in Spain, but we're working on it. I would have done one in Spain already, but the venues are all backed up, so we couldn't get a venue. But the answer is yes. I mean, listen, we're now that we've come out of COVID, we're traveling the fight nights more now, and we're getting the pay-per-views around. We were hitting the same spots for a while there because of all the madness that was going on in the world at the time. But we're back. We're back on hitting as many places as we can in a year.
And I don't know if you saw, but it went a little viral on the internet. Something happened on the broadcast where Ben Roethlisberger, a graphic of Ben Roethlisberger got popped up in the middle of the event, and just
how nutty is
saw that?
And I guess ESPN was having all kinds of problems tonight, technically, with audio and graphics, and NFL graphics were popping up, and I heard about it, but I don't know why. But it was an ESPN issue.
And what were you surprised with an event that happens at this time of night that the English crowd was so loud and so passionate, singing their songs and everything?
No, this is England, man. This is what it's like. That's why I wanted to come here with this fight. And that's why I was telling this guy over here we're going to come here more. This place is special. It's different. I tell everybody in the States, if you've never been to England for a fight, you got to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dave.
Hey, how are you? Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, just one from me. Nick Diaz was supposed to fight next week, and it said he was out because of travel issues. What happened exactly with him?
I have no idea.
Is the plan to have the fight with Luque rebooked? Because I spoke to Luque, and he said that's what he hopes.
Me too.
Does that mean, how confident are you that Nick Diaz fights this year?
Not very.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dana, I'm curious on your opinion on Leon Edwards versus, just here at the back.
Yep, go ahead.
Leon Edwards versus Ian Gary. Obviously, Ian was kicked out of Leon's gym. There's a bit of a storyline there, and now Leon isn't the champion. I'm wondering if you're interested in that fight.
I wasn't until you just mentioned it. Sounds good.
Cheers.
Thank you, sir.
One from me, Dana.
Yeah.
Over here.
Yeah,
Just
go ahead.
on your other side.
Okay. Hi.
We've loved to see you bring the UFC to Manchester. When do you think you could next bring it back to Manchester? Maybe 404?
Bring it back to Manchester?
Yeah.
I haven't left yet.
And is there any team that you'll be supporting, City or United, in the next EPL season?
Sure.
Which one?
Manchester.
Okay.
I don't know anything about that stuff, but I hope Manchester wins. I have no skin in any game, so I'm going with Manchester.
Taking it down here again, to your left.
Yeah.
You touched on the different markets where you want to crack. Gentleman brought up Spain there. One that you talked about last December was Africa, and you said that you'd held talks with Rwanda and another couple countries about hosting it. Has there been any movement, any progress on that?
I'm sure there has, but off the top of my head, I don't know. I haven't talked to my guys about that yet. But obviously, this fight that's going to happen in Australia here coming up will determine, you know, our next trip to Africa. And I know everybody doesn't want to count South Africa as Africa, but I do. So more than likely, our first fight in Africa will be South Africa. And like I said, we are working on other venues, but I don't know what progress has been made or what's going on with it right now.
Thank you.
Cool. Yep.
Yeah, just over here. You just mentioned that you're interested in a fight between Ian Gary and Leon Edwards. Could that be a fight that could headline a card in Dublin?
Well, he said that, and I said I didn't think about it until he said it.
But then you said you were interested.
I said it's a good idea. I don't have a venue or a plan or anything yet, but you know, I don't know if that's a fight that we would make, but I don't hate it. So I don't know.
Is Dublin in the thought process at all, or is it dependent on Irish results, which haven't been the greatest lately?
Dublin's always on my mind. You know, that's why we were going to do that press conference there. You know, I really wanted to do that, and the answer is yes. We will definitely get back to Dublin. It's just a matter of when.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dennis, to your left.
Yeah.
Right before the main event, Bilal Muhammad's corner put the Palestine flag behind him on the fence, and what it looked like from press row was they were told to put it down. So I was just wondering, because there were other flags shown throughout the night, if that was kind of random or if that's a policy thing because of the war. Like Bilal Muhammad's corner had the Palestine flag behind him, and someone told them to put it down. So was that random, or is it like a policy thing because of?
He put a what?
Palestine flag.
Oh, Palestine flag, and somebody said take it down? Who said take it down?
I don't know who it was, but it looked like it was someone from the UFC. There was like two people just like telling them to don't put it on the fence.
Looked like there were people from UFC? Were they wearing fucking UFC hats or
no, I mean
name tags?
Otherwise, I wouldn't have been right at the octagon.
I have no idea.
But there's no like new flag policy thing because of anything.
I have no idea. I get what you're trying to do, but I have no idea.
I was just wondering because.
Yeah. I know what you're trying to do. I know what you're trying to do. Good try. I have no idea, but good try. You guys love to do that shit. Have a good night.
Yeah, when the American guy was talking, he was like, "Are you ready?" I was like, "What is going on?" Oh, fair enough. There we go. He just came in.
Well, Patty, I'll let you drink your water first. Congratulations on the victory. I know a lot of the talk between Bobby, you said it was all, you know, respect and everything. You also did challenge him to take the fight to the ground if he had the balls, and it looks like he did that. So I guess, how did the fight play out as compared to the expectations you had?
That was great, really. No, as I said all week, people thought that I was just going to come straight in and shoot in. And I told you all I didn't need to. You know what I mean? People underestimate me striking, don't think I can strike. I had a striker shooting in on me. You know what I mean? I kept him on the end of my range, kept him on the end of the jab, using me kicks and stuff. I never even got a chance to throw an egg kick at him. You know what I mean? But as I say, I leg kicked him and he shot in, and I capitalised on it. I went guillotine, switched to triangle, and I ended up taking the arm as well. I thought the ref was a little bit slow, to be honest. Think he was unconscious for a few seconds before I took the arm, because I jumped out the cage and went wild for about 30 seconds, and then by the time I got back in the cage, he was still lying on the floor unconscious.
Were you surprised? I know you challenged him to take the fight to the ground, but like, were you surprised that he shot in that soon? Yeah, I was surprised he shot in at all. You know what I mean? He's had some brilliant stand-up fights with people. Like the Jim Miller fight. He stood with Jalen Turner. He's done 3 rounds with Fiziev and won the last round. People kept talking about that in the build-up to this. So yeah, I was surprised. But as I say, everyone underestimates me, lad. Just because I look like a 14-year-old girl. Know what I mean? What did you say to Bobby after? Because we saw you go check on him, and then he finally woke up, and then we saw the clip of you backstage. But did you guys, you said there was no bad blood, but you guys...
No, yeah, of course, no bad blood at all, lad. It's just, in this game, you've got to, I like to be respectful. You know what I mean? It's one of them where we're fighting to put food on the table for our families, and the fact that, like, his arm went, I felt it. I felt a little crunch, and it was nasty. Know what I mean? But I just hope it isn't too bad, because I know he likes to be active and he likes to fight as much as he can. So hopefully it's not a bad injury and he can fight again soon. But yeah, it's nothing but respect with Bobby. Hopefully when I get back to the hotel, we get to see each other and have a little ale with each other or something.
And you said you had your eye on that Renato Moicano in the BSD fight in Paris. I know you liked that Moicano fight because the build-up you said would be a lot of fun, but a lot of fans think Benoit Saint-Denis is one of the more just dangerous fighters in general in this division. So of the two, which one do you think would just be the tougher fight outside of, the build-up?
I think everyone's a tough fight in this division, especially the top 15. You're not getting an easy fight. It's as simple as that. Every single fight in the top 15 at lightweight. It's the most deep division in the world when it comes to mixed martial arts, 155. So any fight is going to be a tough fight, especially now I'm looking up the rankings, know what I mean? So every single fight that I have now, it's going to be a tough fight.
Paddy, over to your left. Hiya. It felt like you really seemed to enjoy Fight Week this week, almost having another fighter with a big personality to sort of bounce off a little bit in terms of like the press conference and all that. Was that true, sort of having someone you could kind of play off a little bit during the week?
Yeah, it was. Me and my team were actually talking about this before. I enjoy it a little bit more when there is a little bit of, not bad blood, but a little bit of a back and forth. Know what I mean? I think my worst performance in the UFC was when I fought Jared, and we was very cordial with each other. Know what I mean? It was very respectful, and that was me worst performance. Every other performance, I haven't like had bad blood with people, but we've had a little back and forth. Know what I mean? Like Levy, Tony started chatting shit towards the end of the fight before we fought. And then obviously this with Bobby, as I said before, it wasn't nothing personal, but we had a little back and forth, and yeah, it gets me going a little bit.
And is that why Moicano is so high up on your list of people that you want to fight next?
Yeah, he's obviously ranked above me as well, but the fact that I think the build-up would be hilarious. I've already said it tonight, I think a season of The Ultimate Fighter and me and him as the coaches would be absolutely fucking comedy gold.
And in terms of your performance, and you have a big personality and it rubs some people up the wrong way, and you have your detractors. First thing you did on the microphone was to sort of give it back to them a little bit. How satisfying is it to go out there and produce a performance like that and shut some people up for a while?
Oh, that's great. You can't beat shutting some dickheads up. It's fucking brilliant. Like, I love shutting haters up, lad. The amount of people that I've seen say, he's never going to be ranked. He's not good enough to be ranked. He'll never be in the top 15. All that. Like, even fighters I've seen on YouTube, people talking shit. And then I just go out there and put on a flawless performance and absolutely school them. You know what I mean? Everyone's talking like, all week it was, Bobby's going to dog walk Paddy. He's not going to be able to get near him on the feet. Lad had jabbed his head off and leg kicked him everywhere. And I think he hit me in the stomach once. I didn't get it. Like, I'm fresh as a daisy. And then I caught him in a sub, and no one subbed him since January 2009. I saw a funny little stat there as well. My coach has just said I finished him a second faster than Islam Makhachev.
Last one from me. Just before the fight, or the day before the fight, you put it out there that you've signed a new deal with the UFC, right? So anything you can tell us about that in terms of duration and how long we can see you sticking around causing havoc in the UFC?
I'm going to be here for the rest of my life, lad. Know what I mean? People took what I said and, like, clickbaited it. Because I said, obviously, it goes without saying, just like what McGregor did with Mayweather, if you're getting offered millions of pounds to go and do the boxing match, you're going to do it. But I'm here I've signed a 6-fight deal, so I'm here for a while. Like, and I'm getting some nice wages. Need to get the duffel bag out.
Congrats, man.
Paddy, over here. I think it was before the weigh-ins, you had a little bit of an altercation on the bus with Kaylin Loughran. Just wondering what happened there, what sparked that?
No, we just stood up and started chatting shit, lad. Know what I mean? I was literally sitting at the back of the bus speaking to someone, and I just said, oh, Jordan Vucenic's being signed there. Another Cage Warriors fighter.
A very talented one.
Yeah, he was very good, lad. And I think I said, oh, it's funny the way Vucenic and Morgan Charrier have been signed, and Paul Hughes is fighting on PFL, the B-Leagues. And he stood up and went, Paul Hughes would smoke ye. So I was like, lad, who are you talking to? Major Chip Hazard. Know what I mean? He looks like the fuck Major Chip Hazard off Toy Soldiers, lad. Yeah. So people made a big deal out of that, lad. Like I was trying to bully him. He started it. Know what I mean? If you're going to start something with me, lad, be prepared to finish it, because I'll put you in your place. It's as simple as that. And he was talking shit about my teammates last week, so I'm going to put him in his place, and that's what I did. Like, it's one of them. People try and start stuff with me to get a bit of publicity. That's exactly what he done. I seen him in the lift like 3 days ago, and he smiled at me and looked at the floor. And then after that altercation on the coach, he walked past me after the ceremonial weigh-ins. He was about 4 foot away from me and stared at the floor, walking like that. Know what I mean? I'm not a big shithouse lad. Someone says something to me, I'm saying something back. I don't stare at the floor like a little worm.
And you mentioned your teammates, and I see your shirt, Next Generation MMA. How much does that gym mean to you, and how much do your teammates mean to you?
My teammates are like my family, lad. Know what I mean? Blood, sweat and tears together. Like, we spar twice a week. We train with each other every single day. I've been training at this same gym since I was 15 years of age. I walked into Next Generation on the 20th of January 2010. Day what changed my life. I'll never forget it. All my teammates, lad, that are there for me, goes without saying. All my coaches, Paul, Ellis, Adam, all my teammates, like obviously, you know Molly. You're going to get to know a lot of my teammates, Luke Riley, Nathan Fletcher, Liam Gittins, Adam Cullen, Liam Malloy, all these people. You're going to get to know them, because believe me, they're going to be getting signed real soon.
And one last question from me. This is not to do with fights, but how are you feeling about the upcoming Liverpool season with Arne Slot and everyone?
Can't wait. Know what I mean? I need to find out if Arnie slots into his MMA, don't I? Because he's Dutch lad and he loved the combat sports. So I need to find out if he's into his MMA and get down the training ground and get with the lads. Especially after seeing Darwin throwing a few 1-2s the other week. Need to get him down the gym, see if he wants to get on some pads.
Can we get Arne Slot cage side maybe for your next fight?
I hope so. Tell Dana to get on him, lad.
I'll do my best.
How long have you been thinking about that Chip Hazard line?
Don't know. I just come off the top of my head, lad. He does look like Major Chip Hazard, though, doesn't he? He's gonna get the Gorgonites. But yeah, lad. As I say, people try to make a big thing of that, like I'm bullying a bantamweight. Know what I mean? He started that. He turned round and chirped up to me when, if we wasn't on a coach full of people with security, he wouldn't have said a word. Because he's a little shitbag. Know what I mean? And I told him yesterday, I said to him, let's see what happens when Jake Hadley punches your head in. And Jake, You done me proud, brother. Love that lad. He absolutely schooled him. And what was he saying to me? Let's see what you do with Bobby then. Let's see what you do. What the fuck did I do with Bobby, lad? I've just put him a kip and snapped his arm. Say something, you little sausage.
Paddy, we know how big your star power is continuing to grow year in, year out. Surely we've got to see you main event a card over here next year, right?
More than likely, lad, yeah, it probably will. I'm game for anything. I've always said that. Any name what gets sent to me on a contract, I sign it. Because, as I said months ago, I thought that I'd end up fighting Renato Moicano tonight. But when the contract got sent to me with Bobby Green's name on, it got signed. I don't turn fights down, lad. I'm not scared to fight anyone.
You spoke about how you had some tough times in the build-up to this fight during camp. How proud are you that each and every time you step in there, you're overcoming battles outside the cage that we're not seeing in there?
I always say it, lad. I was born to do this. Like, obviously, everyone has struggles outside the cage. It's just getting through it and getting to the cage. And I was born to do this. Like, obviously, everyone gets a little bit of nerves before they walk out and that. And when I walked out there, I was just, as soon as my song comes on and I hear that crowd singing and I start bouncing out, I'm just like, yeah, like I'm at home. This is where I'm meant to be. And then standing in the cage, I'm just stood there, like the nerves go away. And I'm just like, yeah, there's no place like home.
You know, you mentioned the talent around you at Next Gen. It's frightening, really, the talent there. Adam Cullen, Luke Riley, Shamrock, all those guys. Do you envision a massive card in Liverpool in the future with all those guys and yourself?
Yeah, 100%. Like, we've got so many lads from Liverpool, as you've just mentioned. Shem, Adam, Nathan Fletcher, Liam Gittins, Liam Malloy. And then we've even got lads coming down training from other places now, like George Staines. You know what I mean? We've got so many people that are on our mats training. Lad, we're going to have about 10 people in the UFC in the next few years. Mark my words, we are the best gym in the UK.
Final one for me, what did you make of the main and co-main event?
I didn't get a chance to watch them, lad, to be honest. I was doing that many interviews. I saw Tom's finish. Tom's the man, you know what I mean? Like, he's just finishing people with jabs. Tom is absolutely unbelievable. But I didn't get a chance to watch the main event, and the little few looks I did get of it, it looked like a snooze fest. So we'll see what happens. Don't know if Leon might get an immediate rematch, because it did look like a proper boring fight.
Well done, the win.
Nice one, fella.
So, Paddy, just over here in the back. Hiya.
What's happening?
Right, so you got the bonus tonight. What are you going to spend it on?
Me babies.
Ah.
Yeah.
What are you going to get him?
I don't know. We'll get them something very, very nice. I'm going on holiday in a few days.
Oh, where are you off to?
I'm not saying, because people will case me when I get there.
Oh, fair enough, but have a good time.
You know that, thank you.
Paddy, mate. Just there, mate. All right.
Yes, lad.
How does it feel, top 15, mate?
It's great. It's great. The amount of haters who I've seen saying things, he'll never get top 15, he's not worthy to be top 15, this and that. And then I just go out there and put on a performance like that and absolutely school number 15 and take a ranking. Not like I've just been handed a ranking, I've just took a ranking. It's great, you know what I mean? It's vindication.
Dana said your star power is like massive now, obviously. Could we see you fight again by the end of the year? Maybe slot into something, or are you gonna? What's the crack?
I don't know. We'll see what happens. Like, I've got nothing planned. As I say, I'm going on holiday. I could be filming another television program, something different to what me and Molly done. So I don't know if that'll take a little month out or something, but we'll see. You know what I mean? I know it's going to be a pay-per-view. What do you want me to fight on? I'd love to fight in like Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia. Them tax-free cards would be good for me. Fighting in America, lad, and getting 30% withholding tax hurts the pocket. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Well done, mate.
Nice one, fella.
Paddy, just a quick one on fighting in Liverpool. Obviously, with the what used to be called the Echo.
Yeah.
With the changing in the branding, I think my understanding is that they're not letting combat sports events happen in there. How frustrating is that for you that it isn't an option at the moment for the UFC to come back and put a card on in there and put yourself on the top of the card in your hometown?
The Echo's too small. What's the Echo? 15,000, something like that. The Echo's far too small for me. I could sell Anfield out. Never mind the Echo. The Echo's chumps change now.
So that's the big push. Try and get that dream shot.
I'd love to do Anfield. Know what I mean? It's already like 60,000. Imagine with seats on the pitch. It'd go off.
If you were to fight at Anfield, do you think it would have to be when you eventually fight for a title, perhaps against Ilia Topuria? There's already a storyline there as well.
Yeah, there is, like, but I can't make featherweight, lad. I'd have to chop me fucking leg off. There's no way I'm making 145. But no, I don't think it'd have to be for the title. I think I'd sell it anyway. And probably get half a next gen on the card as well. But
sorry.
As I say, I don't think you need a title. But fuck Ilya anyway.
Do you think that fight could ever happen? He could obviously move up.
Yeah, I'm game to fight him, lad. Know what I mean? I am. I'm game to fight him if he wants to come up to 155, lad. I'll finish Jai Herbert's job and actually fucking knock him out.
And how much has fatherhood actually changed you? I know you mentioned in the build-up how it was a different camp, right?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't really notice it that much personally, because obviously you don't really notice things like that, but my wife, my family, my team, Molly said she noticed it a lot, you know what I mean? They noticed the change in me, they've seen me mature a bit and grow up, and I probably needed it, lad. I'm 30 in January, so I needed to grow up a little bit, didn't I?
You mentioned in your Sky Sports interview that you were close to not actually fighting. How important was it to prove to yourself that you can still make it and push through the hard times?
That goes without saying, lad. It's not just to prove it to myself either. It's to prove to everyone else that no matter how low you feel and how dark times are, you can push through it. And as I've showed tonight, even though 5 or 6 weeks ago I was in a dark place and my team were thinking about pulling me out because I wasn't all there. I went out there and put on the best performance that I've ever done. I've never looked that good in the UFC. That is my best performance. I was cool, calm and collected. I didn't just run out and try and take his head off like I have done in the past. And yeah, personally, I think that was a flawless performance.
Last one, just thoughts on Molly's performance tonight.
I think getting kneed in the vagina a minute in doesn't help. You know what I mean? But one of them, she lost. Go back to the drawing board. There's not much else you can do. She wasn't her best performance. She'll admit that herself. And yeah, hats off to Bruna Brazil. She had a brilliant game plan. Come out and executed it perfectly. So yeah, Molly will come back stronger, lad. She's done it before. She's been beaten. She's come back and showed everyone what she's made of. She'll do the same again.
Paddy, one last one. Here, just on this side. Here.
Yeah, what's happening?
Yeah, good. So you love your food, and it's been a bit of an intense wake up. But like after this, what's the go-to dish post-fight?
Lad, I just love food, so I can't even say there's one go-to. To be honest, now what time are we on now? 7. Well, I'm going back to the hotel for the brekkie. I want to go and absolutely load up on some bacon, sausage and eggs and pancakes and that. And then it's actually me father-in-law's 60th birthday today, so we're going for a roast. So yeah, big happy birthday, Ronnie. It's multiple people's birthday actually. Maz, happy birthday, Maz. And it's Lisa's birthday as well, so yeah, a few happy birthdays there. But going for a big roast dinner at 3:30, so I'll be filling my boots there. And then I'll probably be hungry again in the night, lad, and I've been eyeing this somewhere that I go to by ours called 60 Kitchen. It's a lovely Chinese. I'll be getting one of them.
What's your order?
This one's like a set menu, lad. I think it's salt and pepper chicken and something in black bean this month. They change the menu every month. It's like an a la carte Chinese. It's power.
Nice, thank you.
All good. Peace out, the firm.
Just we said that people will probably clip up that question from you and answer and put it on YouTube. That's what it's for. It's all for YouTube. So if people make sure by now. Some of the questions on the back. Some of these.
Depends on the answer what.
So somebody from some of these organizations will make a video of it.
And I'll be in it.
Well, your voice will, yeah.
Right, okay.
You.
Maybe that one about that skepticism.
It's gigs.
Yeah, gigs. And then, yeah, it's kind of like,
Is someone going to send you the videos from us though, instead?
no, we get the live stream. It's like from the feeds. What he's talking about, everybody gets.
So you send it me when you get it.
And then we've got this little one. I'll probably, like, I can't lie, I'll probably do it tonight.
Okay.
So sorry.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I apologize.
Yeah, fair.
Because we've got London trip next week.
You got what?
A London trip, I think. We might be going to GR and all that, I don't know. It's all last minute. This is the problem with English, everything's just last minute.
Well, I'll be near London then anyway. I'm going to be in Milton Keynes, so.
Yeah, are you going to Regulon? I saw one person for that, so. Yeah, it's just like, you don't know what's going on yet. I know Friday, but yeah, he does. I thought something was intentional. No, but
What's what?
Friday's way.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it goes skinny season.
That's why I said to that man, like, I knew him, like the iconic clip of him.
And it's like, I'd rather be a fat man.
You've earned it. Well, Tom, congratulations on your first UFC title defense. You know, everyone knows you can finish fights easy, but I don't know if everyone expects you to finish this one in literally a minute. Did you see it going that way, and how happy are you with your own performance?
The performance was a bit messy, to be honest. If I hit anybody clean, they're going over. That's what's going on these days. If I hit someone clean, they're going over, and there's no arguments about that. It's proven now. Curtis was actually a lot slower than I thought, but he had really long arms. So a few of his punches I thought were going to miss, and they got me. But yeah, we were still like both finding our range as the fight kind of progressed a little bit. I managed to catch one, and it was over.
There was some talk about maybe the stoppage was a little bit early. Did you feel that he was basically stuck there and wasn't going anywhere, and it was a fair stoppage?
Mate, what kind of idiot is saying that? Like, I dropped him with a 1-2. He's face down on the canvas. I've got 250 pounds on his back, and I'm landing 7, 8 unanswered shots. Like, where is he going to go? Do you know what I mean? Like, where's Curtis Blades going to go after that? There's only one place he's going to go, and it's asleep. So are we going to let it get to that point, or are we going to look after fighter safety? Because I don't want it to get to that point. Do you know what I mean? He's unable to intelligently defend himself, and it was stopped at the right time. Great reffing by Mark Goddard.
You know, you said there that you're dropping everyone early these days. You know, is it despite what the punch machine says? Do you think you might be one of the hardest hitting heavyweights of all time at this point?
I have good timing. That's what it is. Mate, if any heavyweight hits you, and I'm accurate, if any heavyweight hits you in the face, you're probably going over. Do you know what I mean? And I hit accurately. I hit fast. I make my opponents twitch before I hit them, so they don't see the punch. Probably not. Like, I don't think I'm
some crazy power puncher, but if I hit you, you're definitely going to sleep, yeah.
We all know what sort of should be next. Dana was in here and says that they'd be crazy not to make you the backup for Stipe versus John Jones, so it sounds like you're going to New York. Is there a part of you, though, I know you get itchy knuckles, right? They fight in November. We don't know what happens to them. Then they could maybe want 6 months gap. Is there a chance you fight anyone other than those two, or does it have to be them next?
Like who?
Be the winner of Cyril and maybe Volkov, eh?
Nah, I want to fight John Jones. Or Stipe. Let's not discredit Stipe and what he's done. I think a lot of people are looking past him, probably maybe sometimes me, to be honest. But whoever wins that one, I'm fighting next, for sure, unless they both retire.
You're a little bit surprised we haven't heard from Mr. Jones tonight?
I didn't know that we hadn't. I'm sure we will at some stage. He'll be very angry about it, all the fact that everyone's saying that I can beat him, but that's okay. On the contrary to what John Jones fanboys might think, I have nothing against John Jones as a person. I think I'm the best heavyweight in the world, and if he thinks he's in the best heavyweight in the world, let's settle it. Simple as that. It's not rocket science. There's two guys who are claiming to be the best heavyweight in the world. Let's settle it. Simple as that.
I'm right here. You said in media day, you know, Curtis Blades has been in the top 5 of this heavyweight division for like even before you were in the UFC. Is this a guy that you think you'll have to see again? You know, considering how the first fight went, you're technically 1-1, or are you done with the Curtis Blades chapter?
Me and Curtis Blades on a trilogy. Give the people what they want to see.
I mean, it seems like every time he loses a number one contender, he fights his way.
Nah, Curtis is a high-level guy, man. I've said all week he's the toughest stylistic matchup in the division for me. I still believe that. Curtis is good. I thought the fight was going to go longer. I didn't mean to knock him out that early. I've got an issue, right, with fighters and coaches always saying the obvious thing, which is, let's drag Tom into deep waters. Let's see what he's like when it gets to the 3rd and 4th round. Fucking great. Drag me there then. But no one's been able to do it yet. So you can mouth off all you want when the camera's in your face. But let's see what happens when it comes down to dragging him in the 3rd and 4th round and the 5th round. No one's managed to do it yet, so I'm still waiting for that myself. I'd love to see what I look like myself when I do that, because to be honest with you, in the last 2 years since I fought Curtis last, my training has been on an absolute different level. Like, these days, I just train with a squad of heavyweights that's chose out for me. It's just... Honestly, it's the highest level training of heavyweights of anywhere in the world that we've got right now. We have the highest level of heavyweights in one room. We have like between 10 and 15 top level heavyweights every day on the mat. And the amount of improved since I've been doing that is incomparable. Is that a word? We're going with that. Incomparable to the progress I made before that. Like, my training now is, honestly, I can't even tell you how much I've improved in the last 2 years. And with that level of training and those level of training partners, I just feel like my skill level has gone through the roof.
So is part of you annoyed it was only a minute long?
Yes. I want longer.
And then last one for me, you kind of touched upon it, like you're giving Stipe credit, like Stipe could win, but it seems like they're saying like you're going to fight John next, you're going to fight John next. Why don't you think fans and pundits are giving Stipe this chance against John Jones?
Well, he's just a bit older, isn't he? And he's not, I mean, I think he lost his last fight that was like 3 or 4 years ago, and then he's not won for like 4 or 5 years, so I understand, do you know what I mean? But I don't think at heavyweight you can ever count anybody out. So we'll see how that fight goes, you know what I mean? But as I said, excuse me, I'm a bit gassy, I've just had a beer. I think I'm the best heavyweight in the world right now. And if you think you are, whoever you may be, John Jones, Stipe, whoever, let's fight about it. It's pretty simple. Do you know what I mean? There's absolutely no disrespect here for all the John Jones or Stipe fanboys. I'm the best heavyweight in the world. If they think they are, come and get it. Let's settle it. It's very, very easy to settle in this sport. We both sign a contract. We both get a date. We both train for 8 weeks. And let's fight in front of 25,000 people and millions watching around the world. And let's see who the best is. Everyone will see it, we'll decide, and we'll move on.
Tom, before the fight, you said it was going to be the greatest ring walk of all time. Do you think it delivered?
What do you think?
I think it delivered.
Solid. I reckon it was solid. And to top it all off, I got a message off Noel Gallagher this morning. he WhatsApped me. I don't know. I have no idea how he got my number actually, but I think it was him anyway. He said it was him, and it was him on the WhatsApp picture. And I just sent one back saying, "Yeah, mate, I'm coming out to Supersonic as well as part of my walkout." And he sent one back saying, "That's amazing. Like he loved it. And I hope that Noel got to see it and Liam got to see it and went with my usual Curtis. I don't know. Paddy's walkout's pretty awesome as well, though, isn't it? So, but for me personally, I don't think I'll ever get a walkout and reception like I did tonight.
I mean, you say that. Could we potentially get Noel to play you out at some point?
I don't know. That's not really a thing, though, is it, with the UFC? But, I mean, I'd be up for it, yeah.
Last one from me. Obviously, the performance was fantastic, and hopefully the John Jones fight does happen. But with it being so good, do you think it could have potentially pushed Jones further away?
I have no idea. I don't know. John Jones is a strange guy, man. I don't know what he's doing. He does some weird moves. Like, I'm just over here trying to be the best heavyweight in the world, be the best version of myself. He's done all that. He's done I'm not taking away from what he's done in his career. The guy's career is unbelievable, but I'm just trying to, me personally, I'm trying to fight people, and that's it. So I don't know what he's doing. I can't speak for him.
Tom, down here to your left. Obviously, this week was the 2-year anniversary of that ill-fated night at the O2 Arena. How good did it feel to exercise the ghost of that night?
Yeah, that was good. I mean, I have nothing against Curtis. I actually really like him as a human being. He's a really cool guy. But I just needed to beat him. I knew that I was better than him then. And as I just said to these guys, me now, in comparison to me 2 years ago with the training regimen I've got, mate, it's just not even close. Like, I'm way, way better now than I was then. And I'm ready to take on anyone, man, honestly.
Cheers, buddy.
Tom, dipping your knuckles, soaking your hands in petrol must have worked, eh?
They're like stones, mate. They're like stones. Do you know what it is? A lot of Americans don't get British humour. I was obviously taking the piss there. But do you know what? I was going to keep that going. I thought it was hilarious the way everyone was... but then, like, kids started asking me about how long I leave my knuckles in for, and then I got tagged in a couple of stuff on Instagram of, like, kids putting the knuckles in petrol. I'm like, I don't even know if this is safe, you know. I don't really want to promote this anymore. So if you go to my YouTube channel, you can see a video where I, like, explain that I don't really do it. So sorry, Americans, I was taking the piss on that one.
Tom, right here.
Hello.
You mentioned having a beer post-fight. What was the beer of choice?
Oh, they just give me some Stella or something. It was terrible. It was awful. Like the cheapest beer ever, but it tasted pretty good. I feel pretty good now.
I have to say, once you got the finish, I think everyone in the stands got a bit of a beer shower. There was beer flying everywhere.
Yeah.
You got one on your way out.
I did. Someone passed me a pint. I started drinking it, and then someone knocked it out, man. I was just like, thanks for that. But it was great, mate. I'll never get a reception like that again. I've literally gone out there tonight and just lived my dream. And how many people, in all honesty, existing on planet Earth right now say that they get to live their actual dream? I don't think there's many. And I just feel like so privileged and grateful to be able to do that. Like I've been to every Manchester show basically that there is, sitting in the nosebleeds with my dad. Do you know what I mean? And then to go in there and be the co-main event fight for a UFC title is just incredible.
Tom, you're making it look easy in there every time. You're stepping in there, still keeping that shortest average fight time in the UFC. When you say you're the greatest heavyweight on the planet, and you look at John Jones and Stipe Miocic, that dominant fashion in the way you're winning, do you see it going the exact same way with those guys? Are you that confident in your abilities?
No, absolutely. Well, I'm confident in my abilities, yeah, but I never see it going that way, to be honest. I'm not even trying to finish. Like tonight, I didn't even feel like I really had my range on him properly. I thought it was going to be a long fight. I thought it was going to be like 3-4 rounds at least. Curtis is a tough guy to get out of there. Yeah, that's when I do my best work, is when I'm like not... Like I say, it was a bit of a messy performance, but I got the win. I got the bonus, so I ain't complaining about nothing. Do you know what I mean? It was great.
And how was this fight day in comparison to others? Long day in your own city, and that atmosphere, like we've all mentioned, that was unbelievable.
One of the most stressful days of my life.
Really?
Honestly, yeah. So I changed my sleep pattern over the last couple of weeks. Started sleeping at like 4 a.m., staying up, sleeping till like 10, 11, like as late as I could. And then last night I thought, right, I'm just going to get a normal night's sleep now. I'm going to go to bed like midnight, get up like 7 or 8 o'clock. Then I'm going to get like a big nap in the afternoon. So that was my plan. Mate, there is no chance I could nap. I was so nervous all day. I was literally just lay there thinking of a million different ways about how this fight's going to go. So at this point, I've literally been awake for about 24 hours. I'm pretty tired. But it was all worth it, mate. Mate, I can't complain. You know, I've been saying it all along. I've got a lot of friends who, you're an Atherton guy. I'm an Atherton guy. Like, a lot of my friends work in a fucking factory. They start at 4 a.m. and they work for 12 hours. And they do that every day without complaining. Like, I've got to do it once. I've got to fight one night at 4 or 5 a.m. These guys are doing that for 30, 40 years and looking after the family doing it that way. Like, I ain't got nothing to complain about. But it was definitely a long day.
And defending that belt that you've got in front of you now, I know you believe that you are the official heavyweight champion, but do you think it will feel much different? And I'm not talking about if it's John Jones that you defeat, because that's a different success entirely, but will it actually feel different holding the official UFC title?
No, I think I'm the best heavyweight in the world. I don't think I'm the... John's the undisputed champion, but I'm the best in the world, if that makes any sense. We know what John's doing. John was also saying... John was there crossing his fingers and toes tonight, hoping that I'd lose to Curtis. Let's not bullshit about it. Like, he posted about it loads anyway, that I'm going to lose to him. Yeah, that didn't happen, so that's the fight I want next.
Final one from me. That fight would obviously be early next year. Are you cool just waiting your time? And obviously, if something does happen in November where you're ready to step in, that'll be... You did it last year, didn't you?
Yeah, I'll do it again. I'll be ready to go in November. Well, there's talks in November, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like, they're talking about fighting in November. Where's the announcement and the contract signed? Because I don't really know where that is at the moment. So I'll be ready to step in, mate, in November if someone gets injured, which is quite likely, let's be honest. So I'll be ready, mate. I'm ready to fight whenever.
Tom, Danny, to your left.
Sorry, mate. Yeah.
Just two quick ones from me. You say you're the best heavyweight in the world. Mm-hmm. Who's number 2 and who's number 3?
That's a good question. I think at the moment, you have to say John Jones is number 2. I don't know. It's a tough case with John, isn't it, to be honest, because he's had one fight against a guy that was really good stylistically, a really good stylistic matchup for him. So I don't know, mate. I don't like rankings anyway, but I know that I'm number 1. that's all I'm bothered about.
And the other one for me is, I don't know if you heard Michael Bisping's comments in the lead up to this weekend. I think he said it a couple of times. I think he said it on the broadcast, and he definitely said it at the Q&A. He said that you've got the ability to become one of the all-time greats and possibly one of the pound-for-pound best ever. He's called you the heavyweight George St. Pierre. What does it mean to get that sort of praise from a legend of the sport who's sort of preceded you as a UK MMA champion? And how far do you think you can go?
Massive praise, of course. As you said, Bisping's a legend in UK MMA. Not even. I think it's a bit. It's not right just to call him a legend in UK MMA. He's a legend in MMA. But I think I can definitely fulfil that. I feel like I've got what it takes. Do you know what I mean? And I've thought this for a long time, but obviously I didn't have the proof to back it up. But now I do. And I think that people are starting to jump on the bandwagon a bit. And if you're not. I'll work on proving you wrong. Do you know what I mean? But for right now, I've got a lot more work to do, so I'm not getting ahead of myself. One fight at a time and all that stuff. But for right now, I just want to... You know, I don't know how long I'm going to stay in this sport for. You know, like I know now, I'm 31. Heavyweights go a lot longer than other divisions, but I'm definitely on the second half of my career now. So I want to make as much money and get as much glory as possible and have as many fights as possible. Like I want to be as active as I can. So we'll see what happens.
Tom, just in front of you, you said in the cage that you're just an ordinary man doing extraordinary things. We've seen a lot of champions in combat sports lose the run of themselves with fame and money. How do you keep your humility, and are you afraid of losing it?
I'm not afraid to lose it because it's never going to happen. I don't know. I feel like this. Me personally, and I can't speak for everybody, but I'm not really that into the celebrity lifestyle at all. It doesn't really faze me. I said this all week, and my poor team over there are probably going to be sick of it. But what I like doing is sticking a pair of gloves on, the other person sticking a pair of gloves on, both taking our shirts off, going in a cage filled with 25,000 people and millions watching around the world and finding out who the best is. That's what I like doing. Now, for other guys, I know other guys have got movie roles and rap albums coming out, and they're pushing this brand and they're pushing that brand. What I like doing is fighting people. That's what I really like doing. So I'm not interested in buying a yacht and cruising about on that, or buying a private plane and going to a party in Vegas. I'm not really that interested in it, mate. What I'm interested in is being the best version of myself that I can possibly be.
There was a beautiful video that came out, I think it was Dose of Society did it, where you spoke about your child and raising awareness for autism. How important is it to you to use your fighting career as a vehicle to raise awareness to causes closest to your heart?
I'm always a bit on the fence talking about autism, but I feel like I need to, because it's something that doesn't get enough attention. I'm on the fence for the reason being that I'm new to it. My child's 5 years old. We've had a diagnosis 2 years, so there's people there who've been looking after autistic people for 30, 40 years, you know what I mean? I'm very, very new to it, but I know that me and my family were very lost before we got a diagnosis, and I think that there's a lot of people out there who have been waiting literally years to get any diagnosis and any help with it, and it's a tough place to be in, and we were having a tough time with it, and we still do have a tough time with it, and I want to get as much light and help for other families as possible. So if I have to use my platform for it, even though, like I say, I'm not the most educated person on autism or anything like that, and I don't claim to be, but if I can shed any light on it, I absolutely will.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tom, just here. Two for me. You've done a lot of charity work in Wigan, and I saw a video of the young people actually with you the other day. Was that a lot of the motivation behind this fight, like having all these young people looking up to you, and has that helped you to win today?
I don't really. It sounds a bit mad, but as a high-level professional athlete, I think you have to be a bit selfish. So I don't really see myself like as an inspiration, and I'm going to do this to inspire this kid and that kid. If me being successful is a byproduct of that, that's absolutely amazing, and I want to do more of that kind of stuff. And it's still, as a guy, as I said on the post-fight interview, as a regular guy, I still find it a bit weird that I'm like inspiring people. But if I can do, now that's not my intention. My intention is to win fights and be successful in that. But if I can do that as a byproduct, that's incredible, and I'll do that as much as I can.
And you talked a little bit more about like trying to make money through fighting as well. Like you've won a bonus today, so how much does that mean to you? And we asked Paddy before about what he was going to spend it on, and he said his family. What's your plans? Is there any?
I don't know, to be honest, but me, Paddy, and my mate Mick Parkin won one, which I was absolutely over the moon for him. In all honesty, I've got goosebumps talking about it. Mick is the nicest guy ever, and he's still like, he's 4-0 in the UFC now, but he's still like a bit overlooked because his performances, and I'm sure he'll agree with me on this, have been a bit boring so far. And he went out there tonight in front of like a home crowd and performed, knocked the guy out and got a $100,000 bonus. Like, that is unbelievable. Like, when the UFC came in, and Mick wasn't with me, Mick's already gone, Mick's left. When the UFC came in and told me that I won a bonus, and Mick, like, I was just as excited for Mick as I was me. Like, absolutely incredible. And obviously Paddy as well, but I don't know Paddy as well as I do Mick. I see Mick all the time, and Mick's just the nicest guy ever, and he deserves it so much.
Thank you.
Do you think your performance kind of pushed Alex Pereira's dreams of coming up to heavyweight down a bit?
Oh, no, I don't think so. But here's a thought for you. I was thinking about this the other day. What about, so they're saying that Stipe and John Jones are going to fight in MSG in November. Why don't we do a tournament? We'll do John, Stipe, me, Alex, and do a 4-man tournament, 2 fights in one night, and let's find out who the real heavyweight champion of the world is. Like, we've got the best heavyweight of all time. We've got the best MMA fighter of all time. We've got the light heavyweight champion, and then we've got me, who's just a epoxy interim champion. Do you know what I mean? Let's do that, 2 fights in one night. Put it to Dana. I'm sure Dana's going to be here in a minute, and he's been.
Dana didn't really like the idea of him moving up.
No, I don't. I am honestly the biggest fan of Alex Pereira. Like, he is one scary guy. But would that not be a cool little thing? 2 fights in one night. Let's see how we get on. I mean, I've got the lowest average fight time in the UFC, and it's even lower after tonight. Like, my chances of doing all right in that are pretty good. Like, let's put some money on the table, and let's see who the guy is at heavyweight. Done.
That'd be cool. We'd wipe each other out this week and damage. Have a safe trip back. Make sure you get some bitches in, yeah? It just gets easier to do shit after it's I have like 30% off. I think Bilal's going to trade it. Right now. I'm not sure. Like, relatively soon. Alright, mate. 2 p.m. checkout for you guys. A 2 p.m. train. You think you're going to make your plans gone?
I reckon there's a swimming pool at what do you call it, the hotel. I reckon I'm just going to go for once and go a week. That's all I can think of.
She lives central London.
What's up?
Tottenham, North London. It's only
Yeah. Bilal, right. Congratulations on the win. All the weight, the hate, the doubt. Tell me what's going through your mind right now.
I told you so. I'm just, for me, like I said, the people that I have around me, my team, my coaches, we believed in us. I don't need the world to believe in me. I don't need anybody to believe in me. We don't need applause. We know how good we are. We know what we're capable of doing. And now we're the world champions.
All of Palestine was watching. Obviously, it's a very difficult time right now. How much pressure did that put on you?
It wasn't pressure. It was, for me, I just wanted, like, it just showed me how, like, really this fight wasn't important. It wasn't that big because they're fighting for their lives. They're dying every single day. I woke up today and you're seeing people dying. And it's telling you how small this sport is, how small this fight is. So when I sit there and I stress out about it, it's like, it's just a fight. It's 25 minutes. But I'm still going to go see my family after this. I'm still going to go eat what I want to eat after this. They're starving over there. They're dying over there. So for me, if I give them some sort of attention, if I give them a smile on their face for getting this win, if I can make them not think about what hell they're going through in those 25 minutes, in this 10 minutes, then I did something right. I did my job. If I get somebody to, bring more attention to them, want to learn more about what's happening over there, it's just about educating. And I'm just hoping that I could use this platform, use my voice, use this title to bring more attention there. And inshallah, one day, Palestine will be free.
And when I spoke to you before, you had predicted domination, which a lot of people criticized. For the large part, this was pretty dominant, minus the round that he had your back. Were you surprised with his offensive grappling?
No, like I said, I think I'm the best fighter in the world. I know I'm the best fighter in the world. I just had to prove it, and I had to show you guys. We had 3 years to sit there, and I had to sit there and dwell on that thing, that last fight of everybody saying, oh, he would have beat him. He would have won the last other rounds. He would have did this. He would have did that. We didn't even get started that fight. This fight, we got started. This is what we did. We just dominated the champion. We made it look easy. And we did it better than Kobe did, better than Usman did. And, you know, they're national champ wrestlers. They're this, this, and this. We went to Bogan High School. Shout out to Lou Taylor.
And a little bit maybe of a scare, maybe you would say otherwise, but when he reversed position and he cut you open, what was going through your mind in that?
I was stupid. It was just literally mind lapse. I was trying to switch to the mount, and then he ended up turning it real fast, and he had a good elbow. But, yeah, can never let that happen again.
And one last one from me. I don't know if you saw Shavkat Rakhmonov tweeted. He basically called you out. It was respectful. He said, you know, you promised that you would defend your title against me. Would you be interested in defending against Shavkat first?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've literally never turned down a fight. I never backed down from anybody. I've had so many people turn down fights against me. So now I'm at the top. I'm the man. And for me, now cementing my legacy as the best welterweight to ever do it. I'm not going to sit there and call out these random guys and everything. Who's next in line? Who's the best in line? And I'm going to show you what I am, what I could do. They thought Leon could walk through me. Now I'm going to walk through all these other guys.
Paul, in the front right here. Kind of going off of that, what do you want your reign to look like? Do you want just to fill up the rubies? Do you want to be double champ? What do you want your title reign to look like?
I want to be considered the best welterweight to ever do it. People laughed at it when I said it the other day, and they were like, oh, he said he compared himself to GSP. Ha ha, what an idiot. But now look where I am. Look at the guys I have in my resume. Leon beat Usman twice, and Usman was right underneath GSP. I beat Wonderboy, Gilbert Burns, Luque, Damian Maia. All these guys are huge names. People are going to keep disrespecting me, but we just keep winning.
Did you say anything to Leon after the fight? Because he gave you credit at the end because, you know, he had a good game plan and everything. Did you guys speak at all? I know there was a lot of issues between you two leading up to this.
No, I mean, you always get respect after a fight, going through a battle, right? For me, it was just, it took me 3 years to get that taste out of my mouth. 3 years to finally get this fight back. And I had to deal with all the haters and all the trolls and everybody saying that he would have beat me, he would have did this, he would have did that. But now there's nothing else for them to say.
In your mind, what would it take for you to leapfrog GSP? Just pass his title defense record? Is it finishes? What else do you have to do?
I think beating this next generation of guys, right? You have Shavkat, you have Ian Gary, you have the JDM. So there's these young up-and-comers that everybody's saying are killers. They're probably still saying these guys are going to kill me next, right? So if I go out there and I walk through all these guys, and then I beat the old generation, there's really, I just want to be the guy that did everything that you said I couldn't do. And then if we go up, if, what's his name, Driscus still has the title, he beats, what's his face, Adesanya, and, you know, he was trying to talk tough to me, I'll go smack him around, try to get 2 belts.
You're a little critical of Chicago sports at Media Day, and now you have your title. What's your message to the people in Chicago?
We got a real champion now, right? Let's get this parade going. Just imagine on the Chicago Bulls. Let's get one of those big victory parades.
What was it like, you know, giving the title to your coach, Louis Taylor? You know, you said it would have been really important that you wanted to give it to him right away.
Honestly, it was just amazing because we literally started this in high school together. Him, my coach, Mike Valle. Like, we're a small gym. People don't know our names right now, right? People didn't believe in us. Oh, they don't have that. They don't have this. We don't even got showers at our gym. But now we got a real title at our gym, right? We got that at our gym. So just shout out to my team. They're my family, man. And like, we don't have the 55 UFC fighters, but we have a small group of guys that are better than all these big gyms.
And the last one for me on this fight specifically, obviously the jab played a major factor in this, you know, facing a southpaw. Was that the game plan coming in, or just kind of find out like right away that you could rely on this throughout the fight?
Man, you heard my coach Horacio talking about I got that Canelo boxing, right? And they said, oh, you don't got boxing. Well, you saw that jab. It was smacking him the whole time.
Bilal, it took you down here. It took you 3 years to get that rematch with Leon. Would you be willing to do what he did and didn't do and give him a rematch straight away?
Yeah, I'll give him a rematch in 3 years. Let him work his way back up. No, I think it was a dominant fight. There was really no need for a rematch, and I don't think he had that long reign of a champion where, you know, he's entitled to a rematch. For me, I came to his hometown in front of his people in enemy territory, so it was all like a layup for him, but I blocked it.
And you touched on it there, coming to enemy territory. How nice was it to, well, absorb those boos, but then silence everybody?
I just want to find that little kid with the red hair that gave me like the middle finger. I was like, bro, look at me now. Look at me now.
He's a kid, man. Leave him alone.
Bro, I was trying to give him a fist pound on the stage, and he was like, you suck. And
I didn't see that. Fair enough.
Yeah, I was like, bro, what the heck?
Thanks, Bilal.
Bilal, you're now the first UFC champion from Palestine in history of UFC. How does that sound?
It's surreal. It's amazing. Now, there's nobody that could ever take that away from Palestine. This flag's going to have a title next to their name. The colors are going to have a title next to their name, and those people will live in history forever with a real champion. And especially now in this time of need, we got a victory when they need it most.
You've sort of teed up, or you've welcomed all challenges anyway. Obviously, Shavkat Rakhmonov is the fight that a lot of people, or the fighter that a lot of people think is next up in this division. How do you think a fight between you two plays out?
I think we go into every fight differently, right? And we have a strategy for every fighter. And I think we're the best team at breaking down guys. My last two fights, Gilbert Burns and Sean Brady, I didn't shoot one takedown. This fight, I outstruck Leon and I took him down whenever I wanted to. We're going to have the same thing for Shavkat. We're going to have the same thing for Usman. We're going to have the same thing for all these guys. I don't think there's anybody in the division where I look at it and I think, dang, that's a scary fight.
Bilal, that belt that you've got right there, just over here, that belt that you've got right there represents everything in your career and your life that you sacrificed to get to this moment tonight. How emotional was that moment, celebrating with your team, holding that gold belt?
It was like a sense of relief, right? Because I'm sitting there this whole week and I'm like, if I lose this fight, they're going to be like, oh, he sucked. They should never give him the title fight. We knew you sucked. We knew you weren't good enough. But it just like cements me as being one of the best to ever do it. It cements my name up there. Nobody could ever take that away from me, my family, my team. We got a title now. I had the gold next to my name. And I'm just going to continue beating everybody they put in front of me.
You said that hatred was fueling you throughout fight week and the build-up to this fight. Did hatred fuel you tonight? Did you feel that when you're in there, or were you feeling cool, calm, and collected in there?
Honestly, this was like the calmest I ever felt. We were just in the back. We were joking around, fooling around. And it's like, that's what I love about my team. We're a family. We're brothers. So we all understand that it's the best part about it is like we don't take it too serious. We know what the job is. We know how to get the job done. But we're not sitting there like tense. Like, we're all just chilling back there, having fun, listening to music. And that's the best. When I'm feeling like that, that's when I fight the best.
Is the feeling towards Leon still the same? And I know you felt like you were avoided for a long time when you felt you rightfully deserved a title shot. Is your outlook now as a champion to be a champion that gives all challengers a shot at the belt who are worthy in your eyes?
Yeah, 100%. For me, it's like I had to beg Dana White in for the opportunity. He promised me I would get it, and he stuck to his word. He gave me this opportunity now, so for me now it's showing the UFC, showing Dana White and all of them that I could be the best champion you have, the champion that fights all these guys. I want to be a champion like the reign of Volkanovski and Adesanya, where they looked at the next guy in line, all right, let me beat this guy, let me beat this guy. Like, we never ducked anybody, we're never ducking anybody, and point them out.
Do you welcome those bad blood rivalries in the future? Because that definitely captured the imagination of the fans this week. It's what sells. Did you enjoy that back and forth verbally with Leon, or did you find it quite draining?
No, I love that. Like, I'd rather have it that way. I'd rather fight that way. Just because I'm like, I like trash talking. I like going back and forth with somebody. If I dislike you, it makes me fight better. It makes me wake up and want to go that harder. He pushed me to my limits. This is the best I've ever felt, the hardest I ever worked, because I knew I had to back up the talk. I knew I couldn't just go out there and I couldn't lose this fight because of that. Because I knew they were like, oh, all that trash talking, you lost. All that trash talking, this. So for me, it was like, we got to work the hardest we ever worked.
Bilal, down here to your left. Hi, just a couple of quick ones. Becoming a champion is obviously a career goal, a life achievement. How's this going to change you now that you've actually reached that goal?
It's not going to change me. It's going to, more so, I just hope it just gives my coaches and my team the respect they deserve. Because I know I'm working with the best team and the best coaches in the world. So it's just for them getting their name out there now. They're not the loudest, right? The people really don't know who they are because they don't like to get flashy and do all this stuff. But now people are going to start wondering, what are they doing in Chicago? Wait, let's go visit. Maybe there's something going on out there that we don't know about.
And we actually have a shared friend by the name of Cody Merrow.
Oh.
And I'm sure he'll be slightly concerned that you're going to big time him now and you know, remember the show isn't going to carry on. Can we know that's going to carry on? It's going to be Remember the Champ or something from now on? What's it going to be?
Remember the show will still be playing. We're going hard. We took off because of the camp was going on, but me, Jason Anna, Cody Merrow, we're going to the end. Hopefully we get more ratings now that we got a title on it.
What's up, man?
Bilal, right here. Leon Edwards referred to you as a stepping stone towards his goals. He was looking past you a little bit. Did that just motivate you, hearing what he was saying on Fight Week? He was scoffing at you at the press conference.
I stepped on him. So we're nobody's stepping stone. I told you how good I was. I told you that he was avoiding me for those 3 years for a reason. We went out there and you showed you why. There's nobody that's going to sit there and step over me.
And how amazing was it to win the UFC title with your father in attendance?
It was amazing. Like my sister and all of us he's been to one fight in my whole career. Before the UFC, everything like this is so for him to come all the way out here and watch it, it's amazing because now he can sit there and go to the gym and tell all of his friends, carry the belt over there, and show off a little bit.
Well, congratulations, Bilal.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you, guys.